Eastern Standard Time, women from around the world unite for communion with true wisdom, soul purpose, and deep destiny. Watch us on most channels at Spirituelle Society or on our website at spirituellesociety.com. Each week, through inspired teachings, soulful reflections, and supermind secrets, we explore the deeper dimensions of spiritual leadership for women and what it takes to live a powerful, purposeful, pure, and prosperous life on this planet today. Hello, women of the world, and welcome back to Spirituelle Sunday with myself and Kathy Roseborough. And we wanted to start off tonight, for those of you who are new to watching us on Sundays, we would love to hear where you're listening from, and we would love to just for you to say hello in the comments, and we just want to create this incredible environment that really connects women of the world. And I also wanted to share, for those of you who are new to our show, this broadcast that happens, we call it a soulcast, a weekly broadcast. And our real intention for this weekly show is that we migrate these beautiful, powerful women around the world from traditional media to this new show. So we want Spirituelle Sunday to be the new news, the conscious news show of the week, the live news broadcast where women get true, real, conscious, and higher level information. And that's what this show is all about. And so tonight we wanted to start with this is such an important broadcast tonight, like so important. So if you have some friends who aren't able to join live, please share this video with the women in your life, because tonight we're talking about rest, rebirth, and refueling. And for women, it's time, Kathy and I were talking about this before, but it's time to start saying no. And we're going to explain what we mean by that, because we are very positive. But it is time to start saying no, because we are really being up-leveled to our next level of power as women on this planet right this very moment. And in order to step up to that next level of power, some things have to go. And also we have to say no to things that aren't aligned with truth and values and integrity. And we have to get a little bold. We have to stand up for our own health, for the planet, for the state of our food, to what's happening with the air, that, the unhealthy, many things that are happening to pollute our air, and our gorgeous nature. And we have to get a little angry, as Mother Nature would, to say no, and for our own life too. What do we have to say no to so that we can step into the next level of power? So tonight's kind of action-packed. And we always start with my favorite part of this evening, which is our weekly energy forecast. I'm going to pass it over to Kathy to start with that.
Okay, sounds great. Well, let's pick up right from there. This is exciting. And you know what? I have the weekly energy updates, which I write every week. And I've been doing this for so many years. And this time I'm going to jump ahead rather than start right at the beginning. I'd like to jump ahead to a piece that will really help every woman to understand where they're at in terms of the consciousness that's going on the planet and their application. So I'm going to start with breaking it down into 3 particular sections. First of all, the transformation this week. Reflect on what I have to say about the transformations and the energies that we're receiving into your own sort of category. So I'm going to break it up between the ages of 40 and 70 plus. This group is guiding us into the new paradigm and is actually championing the leadership in wisdom and knowledge and the applied application of that knowledge, which is through experience. So if each one of you can think about in this category, think about communication. Communication is an attribute of the Gemini constellation. We are in the Gemini constellation. So when it comes to communication of your highest concepts and your, let's say, accumulative positive belief systems, you put them together. And what are women between let's just say 40 and up? What are they going to be doing? They're going to be leading out a lot in 2025, but I'm going to keep it right down to this week for a moment. This age group, they've been wounded, they've been traumatized. They are now looking at themselves as, how can I turn this around? How can I continue to dig deep and heal? But at the same time, while I'm healing and everything that I've healed through, how can I come out and make this world a better place? So this is where I'm encouraging the women over 40 to honor themselves. A lot of spiritual leadership. We're going to see you come out, you women over 40, in health, wellness, success on all levels. You are the writers, you are the teachers, you are the instructors. Let's hear from you, and start this week with the powerful influence of I'll say the constellations, the star systems, and the energy coming to this planet. So start out with that. If you are between 27 and 40, your group, you have figured out the suppressions in the world. You guys are smart. You figured it out. You realize the world has a lot of narratives of illusions and false beliefs and suppression of dignity and suppression of your creative energy outlets. So you got this. All right. So 27 and 40, what are we expecting to hear from you? Communication into the world about how we can do a better job, how we can continue to peel back those layers of illusion and pull out the truth. You are very much in the age group, you women, in the no nonsense. No way are you going to live out the unhealed trauma of your generation past. You've already made that decision. Bless your hearts. You're saying no way. So you've got this, and we're looking for you this week to start your communications that are really matter of fact. Like, you're going to be showing us that, time out, no more nonsense. You know how you want to be living your life, and you know how you want to raise your kids. So 27 and 40, hats off. What about you little guys between just being born in 27? Well, you are on a whole new level. You're on a whole other level. You are so spiritually, so ethereal, and so much not of this world that you just look at it and go, I'm going to bring my own voice. And so you're brilliant. You're brilliant. You are full of spirit. What you do need to to protect you is you need the elders to tutor and mentor you. So 0 to 27, please listen to the real teachers, not the talking heads, not those ones that are pretending, not those ones that are just trying to deceive you. No, you've got that. So you just need to harness what you've got. So start this week in looking at how you want to harness and communicate effectively into the world. And then finally with that, just don't get pulled in, you 0 to 27s. Don't get pulled onto any sheep of that consumer train. There's no way we're going to allow that to steal your energy. So I kind of wanted to jump in there first. And then if I'll just pick up a little bit of other things that are going on energetically, you're going to notice, ladies, that you are going back to go forward. And you're going to go, what? Well, it's so good.
It's so good to explain it that way.
You missed a few things. You missed some gifts. You've got to go get them. So just retrace your steps in your mind, and you're going to notice that there's some really powerful concepts and ideas that you had that you left on you left them now for different reasons. You might have walked away because you got distracted, you got busy, some issues came up inside of you. And I'm saying, go back, pick them up. Also make some corrections this week. If you found that you got off your spiritual path since you can remember, as a child, as a young person, as a 20-year-old, if you ever got, when you got off your path, now get back on. Get back on. This is the time to access higher mind and higher heart. Now, the heart, I'll just move into this piece a bit more. The heart center. Watch out, everyone. It's going to be talking to you, and it's saying, hey, your voice, your power, your communication center, I can't seem to align. I can't seem to align. And what's happening there is your throat's acting as a guardian. The throat is very powerful, and sometimes we think it's choking you out and you can't just speak up, but it's not always just that either. It's a guardian. So what it's doing is saying, hey, be a little discerning. Say no. Be responsible. Back away from that. That's a waste of your time. So sometimes the throat is acting as a guardian, and I kind of like that.
I
because
love that.
because then the heart's saying, you have my back. So when the heart that has some tenderness, has some sweetness, some sensitivity, it just review. That's the best way I could say it, is review. And that's where this starting to be like, learn to say no. Please look at yourself in the mirror this week and look at your inner and outer beauty. Take a look at your heart. Don't criticize yourself, because right now, as you actually, there's a way I want to put this. It's not just sliding into your category of your soul maturity or your age. Like, it's not just that. It's also recognizing that you're unique. The creator didn't make any mistakes when the creator made you, designed you, emanated you into the world. And so sometimes you have to say to yourself that you have a special niche. You have something unique, and you don't want to be like somebody else. You want to be who you are. So when someone's pulling you, say no.
And a common question that has come up, and it's, I would say, maybe skewed a little bit to the women 40 and over, but I have heard it from younger women too. So a lot of them, and maybe it is because they feel like they've been broken over the last several years as they've awakened to truth.
Yes.
They're like, well, maybe I incarnated in the wrong time because I'm not too sure if I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I've heard that so many times. Is there something this week that would help?
Okay. So when I love that. I might have incarnated to the wrong time. That's kind of cute. Well, because, and I said, the creator doesn't make any mistakes. No, you are exactly in this lifetime where you're supposed to be. And so when you're saying, I'm really not sure, I can feel the power, it's because 2025 is an interesting, actually, this is going to slide right into some other things that are going on in the world, but 2025 is a very transformative time. And each week that you're looking at the changes that are accelerating, like the week ahead, you're bumping into that question of, where do I belong? What's my gift? And what if I don't know? And I can feel it, but I don't know it quite yet. If you can imagine when you open a window and there's a breeze, and your shears or your curtains, they start fluttering kind of in and out of the window because the sun is shining, the wind is blowing, and your shears are moving in and out. It's that fluidic right now. It's very malleable. It's very fluidic. It's very much, the sun is bright. It's a blue sky. You're getting into that alignment. And so what you have to do is you just need to keep your foot on the pedal of connecting. Okay, say I'm meditating, I'm reflecting, I'm journaling. As we've talked before, you have to acknowledge your gifts. The gifts are the secret, the gifts are the treasures. Everything the universe has invested in you is your soul mandate. That's your soul mandate. And if you can sit down and what Gemini does, it's a relationship between the higher mind or the higher worlds and your intellectual understanding. So your intellect is saying, I don't get it. Oh, I can't, I don't know who I am. I'm frustrated. And your higher mind's going tap, 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 tap. And you're like, what? It's like, well, the answers are inside. If you would just be still and quiet, I will start to share more with you. And so when we say sit down and meditate and journal, and you want to relax enough that the intuitive flow with a woman, it's so strong. Let that intuitive flow cascade down and start to acknowledge what you know. They will be loud and clear. What you know are your gifts. There's no way I would sit here and say to myself, I'm going to trick myself into thinking I'm a dress designer. Okay, I am not a dress designer. So I'm not going to pretend that. I'm not going to wish for that. I don't want to slide into that. I admire dress designers and I wish I could be one, but I'm not going to wish for it into my soul mandate, am I? So take a look at those things that you can take action on, that you can develop. And actually, this is a big part of our spiritual teaching. We teach people how to concentrate on who they are and build who they are instead of working on who they're not. Now, so with the energy on this forward, backward, neck, bottlenecking stuff here, this bottlenecking between, it will clear. We're going to do a little meditation healing for that at the end of the program as well, just to get this flow going between that discerning mind of yours and that beautiful heart center of yours as well. Now, I don't know if you want me to just kind of take a little leap into this one, but I kind of want to talk to a little bit about the power paradigm of women right now. The power paradigm, like what is going on here in 2025? What's going on with women? We've talked about these sectors, these gifts that we all have. What's the bigger picture? And it would prompt us right away to talk about the way women are feeling the suppressions lifting more and more, and realizing in that lift that they're free to move mountains right now. And right now, what the women have is one of the greatest, I'm going to say it's kind of, you kind of want to whisper it so it's a secret, but it's like, we have the greatest powers on the planet to direct the planet towards healing. We have all the buying power. We have all the sensibility when it comes to nature, Mother Nature, how to look after kids, how to look after our bodies, how to look after the health of the families. The new paradigm is all about health, wellness, success, beautiful creative success, leadership in the way that is a win-win for everyone. So when I say and I whisper, we've got about 85% of the power of how to shift the planet. Now, all we have to learn now is to say no to what we don't want and yes to what we do want. And the corporations and industries will scramble to align with what women can do with this planet, with the health, with our own lives. We have the power. It's up there around 80-85%. Can you imagine?
And I think that's why a lot of women are feeling a little, not anger in a wrath sort of way, but they're feeling frustrated, and they get mad when their time is wasted or they're not living aligned with their values. Like before you would get frustrated, but now it's like, I can't take this anymore. Enough is enough. That's the energy in a woman's body now. It's enough is enough. And we're all feeling that way. And I feel it's for us to boldly step into our next level of power, which means saying no to what we don't want. We can't feel guilty saying no or feeling bad. That for me, I know that was difficult. It's like sometimes we don't say no because we feel bad for that other person or we don't want that person to think we're, but now it's like, it's just harming our health, and we can't get to our next level of power if we don't start doing it now.
We were duped. Let's just put the cards on the table. We were duped. we've been duped because the women were taken advantage of in their emotions and their sensitivities into believing the marketing and advertising over decades of time, which ultimately have prompted us to go after and chase those things up to now, those things that are harmful to the planet, because we were told all
Mhm.
these things that we had to have, and if you didn't have this, and you weren't the modern woman, and if you didn't have that, you weren't the successful woman, if you were that, you're not a good mother, and if you didn't have that, your kids were going to be failures. And it's
Mhm.
like they just dupe and deceived. And so the women were taken by the one thing that they hold in their highest regard is there's no way they would ever harm their children, their family, themselves, the planet. But they were placed in exactly that position by a driving force that was what was very, let's say, filled with shadows and illusion. And so right now, what is the greatest authentic buying attribute of a woman is her values. It's her values. When a woman stands up for her values and says, no, I don't want that artificial food. No, I don't want that garbage. My children are not measured by how many toys they have in their toy box. My children's worth is not measured by whether they have the certain designer label on their shirt. They're not measured by their ability to perform a task like a dog on a ball at an entertainment of a kid's party. Like we're human beings with unique gifts, unique strengths. And every time we chase that false illusion type of life, we're destroying the planet, because the planet has to give up her resources, has to push into artificial overdrive. It's causing our lifestyle to bring sickness. And we're changing that now. This is 2025. I have never seen so many incredible women. It makes my heart sing. I'm a little longer in the tooth, so I can say I've looked back over the decades, and I'm telling you, women, we're coming out with not aggression. No
Mhm.
way. We don't need to be aggressive. We are straightforward. We're saying that's awful. That ruins the planet. That ruins my child. That ruins my body. That ruins my partner, my husband, my partner, whatever the case may be. And that is that we're saying no.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we also, it's so important we put a foot down to the more junk we have stuffing up our closets and our kids' closets and our lives and everything we've been conditioned to think we need. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel right. We can't breathe, and there's no space in our life. No
No.
space in the calendar, no space in our anywhere. Everything is hoarded up. And I think this is why women are they're imploding and
Yeah.
it's spilling out now, and a lot of the empaths and the sensitives are, why do I feel angry? Because I'm so nice all the time, but I'm not feeling
Yeah.
as nice anymore. you know, it's like they're even the beautiful, soft, angelic empaths are feeling mad
Yes.
because they can't take it. It's no longer possible to work.
I think it's an unconscious it's a good segue actually when we get into talk about your women's rest. You talked about rest and revitalization and regeneration and so on, that we're going to we're making sure women walk away with understanding tonight. So women are so intuitive. They know something's wrong on this planet. They know something's wrong. They can't put their finger on it all, but they feel it. And that's why they're upset. That's why they're angry. That's why they're frustrated. That's why they're feeling the suppression. And that's why they're rising up with the boldness of being able to say, I have ideas. I have ideas. I have inspiration. I have creativity. I have ways to bring changes into industry, bring changes into family, bring changes socially, you name it. Women know exactly how we should be organizing and aligning ourselves. And I think this is what's underlying. There's a like this feeling, this knowing and
Mhm.
this feeling. And so right now, when you say they feel that pressure, what's happening is that at the same time, 2025, right now, and really this week, it's been going on for a couple of weeks now. It's going to keep on going. It's that it's a time when you say, I can't just think about it anymore. I have to take some action.
Yes, completely agree. I feel that so much. It's it's not about complaining about it or talking about it on repeat. It's the body is now like, do it take action, but in the right direction and with concentration, clarity, focus, and to
Cleansing.
know what those actions are.
Cleansing is a lot of it. The cleansing, and you know, we've talked about cleansing, but it's an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing talk about the detox. It's ongoing talk about um, excesses. It's ongoing. Okay, let's bring it right back to our buying power. It's what products you're putting in your body, what products you're putting on your skin, what products you're putting into your family. It's that your ability to say, I don't want this, it's not healthy, and I am not buying it. Now,
Mhm.
you're going to watch as women make those decisions more and more, that the world automatically has to change in accordance to what the women have decided is to be in a better lawful alignment, lawful meaning natural lawfulness to the divine. And by making those decisions, our Mother Earth is just going to go, ah. She's going to start to relax because we're not going to be digging her up for all the different things anymore because no one's going to buy it. No one's going to
Mhm.
buy it. If you have pesticides all over the food in the field and you're telling farmers they have to do all these ridiculous things to comply with things that are GMO and things that are soaked in pesticides and toxins, and no one's buying it, do you think the farmers are going to keep on putting up with that nonsense? They're going to say, no, no one's buying this stuff. If you
Mhm.
decide that you don't want all the plastic use bottles and things in your house and you don't buy it, it's not going to end up in the oceans. As long
Mhm.
as when you say, no, I am not buying it, the world has to change. It's a result. And women are right up there at the top of the ranking order. There's that word order with the mother divine, order with the what we call the matrix, or the it's like the structure and the laws of creation. There's different ways of speaking to that, but let's just put it down very naturally. The natural laws,
Mhm.
the natural structure. That's exactly what women are able to uphold.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's happening, which is so necessary this week,
Yes.
is to ask ourselves, what life are we creating? Like, what exactly is the direction we're wanting to go? Because if we don't, we end up swimming in sludge and we get lost in the day and we end up living a life where our daily actions and how we spend our time is disconnected and often in the opposite direction of our values.
Oh,
So if
yes.
our values is family and having a lot of time with our kids and living slow and simple, but the way what we've committed to is making us in the opposite direction, well, no wonder our nervous system is broken. We are not
Yeah.
meant to multitask anymore the way we probably never were, but we
No.
could kind of do it before, right? And there
Yeah.
was this false illusion that it's okay and women are meant, they're good at it. And but it's like it's so harmful to the nervous system, which is why all women have anxiety now. So this is a week of getting your ducks in a row and
Yes.
asking the bigger questions like, what is the vision for my life? Write it down on a recipe card. Because if you don't have a super clear direction, the false world, the consumerist, toxic, unhealthy world is going to eat you alive.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's going to string
Yeah.
you along for a life that is untrue for you, and you're going to continue to get angry and your body's going to continue to break down. So this week is a week of the enough is enough is, am I living in alignment with, think about what are your three highest values? Health, freedom, for me, health, family, freedom.
Yes.
If I'm not aligned with those, I can be really successful and fake it, but I'll be miserable.
Yeah.
So we have to come back to what is true for you and start putting your life back, how you spend your time, who you give your time to, who you hemorrhage your energy to. All that has to get cleaned up this week and really get clear on where are you going? Write it down on a recipe card. What is your vision for you? And if you have kids, for your children, but even if you don't have kids, for your legacy, where are you going? Because so many people, they just focus on their work, but they actually don't have a clear destination for their life and legacy. And they like to keep busy so they don't have to think about it. So today is a clean up the mess so that you don't get eaten alive by the falsities of the world we're living in. We have to be superwoman now. We have to be so strong and solid and in our power so that we don't get eaten alive by people who gladly will plunk us on a path that is untrue and lack of integrity and full of stuff. And one of the things for women that's really important as of this broadcast is be careful that chasing the outside world or the grass is greener or the looking good doesn't steal your whole life.
Yes.
So the shift this week of making your inner compass, your intuition and your heart way more sacred and important than what you see on social media. Because if you're always trying to do what everyone else is doing, you're going to end up on the wrong path. And women, I call it the female fracture. The reason it's because now Mother Earth and your soul is saying, you're not meant to follow the herd. You're not meant to be a crazy consumer. You're meant to grow your own food. You're meant to spend time with your children. You're meant to slow live. You're meant to have your health and well-being as a part-time job. Like every day for me, it's so important that I have my health rituals. And even the past couple days, we're a little too busy. And today I was like, I can't roll like this anymore. It was a little reminder of like, I used to roll like that for decades. And now 2 days go by when I roll like that and I can't do it because my intuition is like, not
going to happen.
Do this, but no more. So listen to the guidance of if you're feeling frustrated and angry, it's probably because you're no longer meant to live that way. And when you look at what your rhythm is now, do a check-in every day. Was today true? Or did I hemorrhage all my energy to the wrong people, the wrong activities? Did I not take care of my health today? Did I have no boundaries and let everybody else walk all over me? And then a lot of times by 10 a.m., most people have their whole vitality has been sucked from their body because they've been on the phone and scrolling since 6 a.m. They've been multitasking like so nuts. And they're always distracted. And maybe you can talk about this in the next section, but this is why we can't rest well. Because the world has broken us where we're always distracted. We're never there. And no wonder we can't sleep well.
Well said. Well said. The Gemini. Okay. So let's talk, we're bringing it right back to this week. You talked about being stronger, putting your foot down, making the changes, start this week. Really take a good assessment of what you're doing and where you're losing energy, where you're giving it away. Remember this Gemini is about the throat chakra center, the throat energy center. You can use different terminology. It's an energy center that you communicate your highest expressions from when it's in order. So it is the let's call it the actual lens or a vocal speaker out from your inner self that is drawing from the higher mind, drawing from the higher life style, the higher order of your inner soul self. Now, when it's coming down and it's getting stuck, it's also there's an indicator there. The caution light is on, and it's saying, "Oh, I don't really know what I want to say," or it's saying, "I'm overwhelmed. I'm confused. I've got too much on my mind. I don't know where to start. Oh no, it's 11. Oh, I didn't get anything done today yet. My morning." It's like, oh. So you talked about going into distraction. There's also daydreaming. There's this, you're staring out the window. You think you're doing something, but you're not getting anything done. You're daydreaming to a point where, the hour went by, or you suddenly started watching TV or flipping through your phone. All those loose pieces are a very clear, not just an indication, it's a shout out from your soul. The soul is saying, you're not connecting. You're not connecting inside. And so what we want to give to ourselves this week is the beginning stages or middle stages, wherever you are, and putting some power back into this throat center. Now, how you do that, you have to, first of all, acknowledge that there's something off. Just like you said that, Lee, you said that when you found that you got a couple of days very busy, you suddenly said, whoops, I'm off. I got to pull myself back to center. Okay, very common, especially with kids, especially with busy businesses. And so with this throat center, what you want to be doing this week is turn it off, especially when you're getting to the evening time, getting ready for bed. People can't sleep. Women are having trouble sleeping, having anxiety, tossing and turning, and finding themselves in a point of real panic, because then they know they're not going to get any rest, and they wonder what's going to happen the next day. It's because you've got too much overstimulation. You have to look at the no cell phones, first of all. Some people like to have a little sea salt bath at night to clear the energy that they've picked up through the day, especially if they're around a lot of people, or if they're consultants, or they're just engaged in the public a lot. A sea salt bath is always nice to make that flow again, get the heaviness out of your energy field. It's also important that you start training yourself at night. Now you might think, oh no, what are you talking about? Now I have to put more effort in. It's like, no, the monkey chatter, the restlessness is looking for something within you, some mastership in you to shut it down. But if you don't have the connection to it, it's like it's got its hands out saying, when are you going to help me? When are you going to help me? I want to go to sleep. So when I say you have to take charge and start training, you have to start by laying in bed. Now, you've already done your day's reflection earlier. Don't do your day's reflection while you're laying in bed, because that means you're going to get yourself all upset. You're going to lie in bed and you're going to be all upset with yourself. You're going to go,
especially for women, I didn't do it good enough, or I should have done this.
I should have done this. I should have done that. And so instead, how you're training yourself is when you are laying in bed and you're getting ready for sleep, you do some nice, quiet, deep breathing. And you start to focus on, here's one exercise you can do. You start to focus on your path to a peaceful vision. Your path, using your imagination to something that brings you a sense of peace, whether that's sitting in a garden or sitting in a environment that is peaceful, looking out. If you're imagining you're looking out on the waters, looking at a sunset, whatever the case may be, we can go into a lot more detail when in there. There's a lot of studies that we already have going that go into greater detail, but I want to give you something you can work with tonight. And what that is that when you are laying in bed, you have to start thinking not about your day, but connecting more with how the breath has the mastership over settling down your body. And that settling down of your body, as you practice it each and every bedtime evening while you're laying there, you're going to notice that your endocrine glands start to actually respond, because the body is subservient to your mind. It's subservient to you. And it's out when it flips and flops around, it's like a fish out of water. It's just like, put me back in the water, put me back in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have your that chatter underneath the power of your mind, and you get yourself to go into a nice quiet breath, all the body systems recognize that as a signal that it's time for bed. They'll start to automatically recognize it as a signal. Now, that peacefulness you're seeking does have an underlying cause as to why you're feeling out of order. And a lot of it has to do with what you're trusting in. We have to come to a point of trusting that the divine in us, our soul, knows exactly what it's doing. So when you're going to bed at night, you're surrendering yourself to your soul. So
That's
what you're saying
good.
when you're breathing.
And
yes.
why is that? I know as a collective, women are saying this all the time. I guess my question is, why is it now that that's happening? And why is that so hard for us? We know, we read the books, right? Trust the higher power. But now we're being asked to actually do it. Why is that so difficult?
Well, the world is getting and has been getting busier and busier and busier by design. I made a little statement earlier. I said we've been duped. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is the world has become far too complex for things that are not necessary. When life is simpler, when life is orderly and simple, and you have a daily plan and routine that doesn't have anybody coming in and dumping more on you. We have come to a point where we're so much in overload that you can imagine laying down in the bed at night and your list is like this long of the things you didn't get done.
And we're sparking. Our nervous system is sparking out of our body.
And your nervous system is sparking out. But when you say instead that is an illusion, somehow I fell into the belief that I had to do 50 things. And in fact, I really only needed to do 6 in the day, 7 in the day, whatever. I'm just using these numbers, making them up. But what I'm saying is that it's a retraining. We're retraining ourselves. We are trusting that the truth is within, and that's where we're going to find the real directives instead of the illusion that's causing calamity. And if we continue to buy into the calamity, you will not sleep at night. Mm-hmm. You have to say no. And the tools to bring you back to stillness and to rest and for your nervous system, the tools are the breathing, the tools are the visualization, and another set of things that you might want. And I just, there's some random, everybody likes to read different things. There's a lot of really nice writings or little prayers. You might like prayers. You might like poetry. You might something that is pleasant. And when you think of some of the pleasant things that are available to us, that's the type of reading material you want while you're laying in bed. You want something pleasant that you could just think about for those last few moments of rest before you go to sleep. And those pleasant thoughts are what you take with you into your nighttime. Pleasant thoughts. Now, would you rather take into the nighttime all the worries about, did I pay that bill and I forgot to take that out of the freezer for tomorrow and I don't even know if the kids have lunch in there? Or would you rather take to your bedtime, to your sleep time, a thought that is pleasant and relaxing. And it's funny, my Nana, and bless her heart, my grandmother, she used to always say to us when we were little, she would say that you bring to the end of the day a release. You say, I have, to the universe, I have done all I can do no more.
That's beautiful.
It's nighttime. You can do no more. You have to go to sleep. The stars are out. The moon is out. It's time for you to sleep. You can't do anything about your issues, so don't even bother trying. Okay, does that make sense?
It does. And so we're being sort of, I think women are being gently, not always gently, but guided into their next level of power to say, we now must trust more. We must not just talk about letting go at the end of the day, but we have to now get really good at it.
Get good at it by practicing those things that retrain your life scheduling, your lifestyle. Now, back in the days, let's just take it like this. What did we learn falsely by watching movies and all of these things throughout time? And watching our parents or our grandparents, we saw that, and not for all, I'm saying that a lot of the storytelling that was negative was excess, busy parties, perhaps late nights, all these different things that went against the alignment for you to sleep well at night, that went against the alignment to your nervous system. So you're talking about 3 to 4 generations. You've got generational habits and attitudes and living standards, like ways of living that do not comply with the natural way of life. Yeah. And so now what you're doing is you're remodeling them. So you're breaking down the old and you're remodeling. So everything that you are going to do from this day forward in this new time cycle, which is a new paradigm, which is so empowering for women, such an empowering time, is you're creating the life the way you want it to be. Now, for example, I just wanted to read this one to you. It's a gratitude-focused night prayer. Thank you, Divine Presence, for this day, for the lessons, the laughter, and even the struggles. I release all worry and forgive all pain. I place my life in your hands as I sleep, trusting that all is being made whole and well.
It's beautiful.
Something simple like that. Mm-hmm. You are surrendering to your soul and trusting, and those words of trust are not just concepts that should be we just say, oh yeah, that's a good idea,
right?
But we actually start to change our ways. Now, I think maybe we should do the little meditation. I was thinking that bringing the whole evening together on this soulcast tonight, this broadcast tonight, on all the different pieces. If I go right back to the beginning when we first started, one of the most important pieces we did talk about was how we need our throat center, our ability to create and express and to change our lives, to speak up about our lives, and to coordinate it with the heart. There's actually a nice little meditation you can combine that it's a 3-4 minute meditation that we can do together to blend this energy and make it flow better, so that that you can really feel the relaxation. Let's do that. Okay. So now we'll just close our eyes and let's start with some nice deep breaths in. Tune out the external world and all the noise and the chatter and the excess. And realize just how simple and how beautiful it is when we just breathe with our soul's light. Nice deep breaths in, and use your diaphragm breathing. Visualize the light of your soul above your head as a bright, bright light of warmth and love. And realize that it's your time to completely surrender. Surrender right into this. It's you. That's the real you. And you're here in the inner temple of healing and wisdom with your lanterns of light acting like guardians around you. One in front, one beautiful lantern behind, and one to either side of you, left and right. And the light of your soul is cascading down its healing and blessings to your heart. 3 streams. One straight down from above your head through the center, right to the heart in your upper chest. The other one from the right side of your head, coming down into your heart. And the final one on the left side of your head, coming down into your heart. 3 beautiful streams of your soul's light. And all that love and light gathering in your upper chest. So you can breathe deeply and feel the warmth, the peacefulness in the front and in the between your shoulder blades. Take a moment to feel that. That is your connection to your soul. And so while you start to now begin to come back, you'll notice that the warmth and the love flows through your body on every exhale to your feet. That's you breathing it down. That's you, your soul's light as one. So whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and you can come back and stretch out. And thank you for joining us in this meditation.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. And we would love to hear from you. We are sending you so much love for the week, and we look forward to having you with us next Sunday at 7. Take care.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Blessings.
Bye-bye.